stop scrolling because the truth that just leaked about Pierre and Teyana Taylor is sending the internet into complete chaos. For months, fans thought their story was real, that this was just love blooming in the middle of heartbreak. But now, shocking claims have surfaced that it was never about love. It was about business. A so-called secret deal has allegedly tied them together, and fans are now convinced the entire romance was fake from the start. It all started quietly, almost too quietly. Right after Teyana's highly publicized split from Iman Shumpert, people noticed how quickly Iman entered the picture. At first, it seemed innocent. Paparazzi caught them leaving the same restaurants. Social media picked up on subtle hints. But then the leaks came, a strange set of screenshots, whispered accounts from supposed insiders, and claims that there was more to this than meets the eye. Fans began asking the question no one wanted to face. Was Teyana really in a relationship? Or was she staging one to protect herself during one of the hardest times of her life? The leak hit the internet like a bomb. The documents that surfaced didn't look like normal couple texts. They read more like negotiations agreements, bullet points outlining mutual benefit. One section allegedly discussed how public outings should be handled, which events they would attend together, and even how affectionate they should appear in front of cameras. To regular fans, it looked more like a PR playbook than a love letter, and that's when the backlash started. Suddenly, everyone had an opinion. Some people said it made sense. Teyana was under intense pressure from her divorce with Iman, fighting for control of her own image, and she didn't want to look like a broken woman. Linking herself to Iman, a young actor gaining attention in Hollywood, was a way to control the story. Instead of being painted as the scorned wife, she could now be seen as a woman moving on, glowing and untouchable. Others said this was all too much, too fake to be real love. Then there was Iman's side of the story. A rising actor, talented but not yet a household name, suddenly thrown into headlines. Being linked with Teyana boosted his visibility overnight. His name started trending more often. His photos circulated on blogs that normally wouldn't cover him, and his career got an undeniable push. For someone building a career in an industry where fame can fade quickly, the timing was suspiciously perfect. Was this his opportunity to gain the attention he needed? Fans couldn't ignore how convenient it all looked. Social media caught fire with debate. TikTok started surfacing users analyzing paparazzi photos frame by frame, pointing out how staged some seemed. Notice how they're always looking toward the cameras. That's not natural, one viral post said. On Twitter, people shared their suspicions. This feels like a business deal, not a relationship. Reddit threads exploded with timelines, receipts, and comparisons to other Hollywood couples accused of faking relationships for PR. One fan even compiled a side-by-side of Teyana and Iman's outings, showing they never looked completely comfortable. Their hand-holding seemed forced, their smiles rehearsed. When Teyana posted about Iman, the captions were always vague, no romantic declarations, just enough to stir curiosity, but never enough to confirm anything real. The internet became its own detective, dissecting every move. Then came the so-called receipts. Leaked messages supposedly between Iman and a third party showed discussions about payments, appearances, and even mentions of terms. The problem was the evidence didn't always line up. Some screenshots looked edited. Some contradicted the timeline fans already knew, and others looked like they could have been faked by anyone with Photoshop. But that didn't stop the speculation, it only fueled it. What made things worse was the silence. Neither Teyana nor Iman addressed the leaks directly. No denials, no confirmations, no clarifications. And in the world of celebrity gossip, silence is the loudest response. Fans said, if this was fake, why not just shut it down? Their silence made people believe there was something to hide. Divided opinions began to take over. On one side were the skeptics, people convinced this was nothing but a calculated move. This isn't love, it's strategy, one fan posted. She's trying to cover her divorce drama. He's trying to boost his career. On the other side were the defenders. They argued that people were being unfair, that Teyana had every right to move on, and Iman deserved a chance to live without constant suspicion. They said fans were projecting their own doubts onto something they didn't fully understand. But even the defenders couldn't ignore how odd the whole thing seemed. Why was there never any true intimacy shown? Why were their appearances always perfectly timed with big headlines about Teyana's divorce? Why did Iman's name start trending every time Teyana's court battle heated up? For many, it felt like too many coincidences piled on top of each other. What started as a little gossip thread on social media spiraled into something much bigger, a full-blown cultural investigation. The conversation shifted from Teyana and Aaron's rumored romance to a deeper, far more uncomfortable question. How much of what we see in Hollywood is even real anymore? Is love in the spotlight ever authentic? Or are we just watching glorified PR stunts disguised as fairy tales? People weren't just whispering, they were dissecting. Reddit threads popped up, TikTok sleuths went into overdrive, and Twitter became a war zone of receipts and insider info. Some compared Teyana and Aaron to other infamous showbiz couples accused of entering relationships not for love, but for leverage to boost visibility, cross-promote careers, or soften a scandal. Suddenly, their chemistry was being analyzed like a Netflix drama. Every glance, every comment, every blurry paparazzi photo became a clue in the court of public opinion. For Teyana, the whispers cut deep. This wasn't just tabloid noise. It was a direct attack on her authenticity, something she fiercely guarded throughout her career. Known for being raw, vulnerable, and brutally honest in both her art and personal life, the idea that she could be faking her feelings for press wasn't just insulting, it was devastating. It undermined everything she stood for. After a high-profile, emotionally draining divorce, being accused of staging a rebound romance was a slap in the face. As for Aaron Pierre, the rising star with a face made for film and a resume just beginning to glow, he found himself in the middle of a narrative he couldn't control. Instead of being celebrated for his talent, he was suddenly the fake boyfriend, a contract partner, a man people accused of signing onto a staged relationship like it was a Netflix deal. For someone trying to build credibility in a cutthroat industry, the damage could be long-lasting. Perception is everything in Hollywood, and his was starting to look like a script. The rumors didn't stop there, they escalated. Some fans claimed they had screenshots of leaked messages. Others insisted they saw NDA clauses and contractual terms tying Aaron to Teyana for a set number of months, complete with red carpet appearances, coordinated outfits, and soft launch posts designed to go viral. Were these documents real or expertly photoshopped fakes created for clout? No one could say for sure. But in today's internet, the line between truth and fiction is thinner than ever. Yet, despite all the noise, one fact remains: no one really knows what's real anymore. That's the scariest part. The internet, once a tool to expose secrets, has become a machine that manufactures them. We crave drama so badly, we're willing to believe anything even if it means tearing someone down just to feed our curiosity. So, what if there really was a secret deal? A quiet arrangement between a broken-hearted star trying to control her story and an ambitious actor looking for a strategic boost. It wouldn't be the first time Hollywood pulled back the curtain to reveal a stage. And if it's true, someone eventually will talk, they always do. A former assistant, a jaded stylist, a publicist with nothing to lose. That's how these stories end, with an anonymous tip or a leaked voice note that confirms everything we suspected. But until that day comes, we're all stuck in the in-between, suspicious, hypnotized, clicking, commenting, obsessing. Because deep down, we don't just want answers, we want the drama. We want to believe love is real, but we also want to be right when we say it's not. And that's the real power of this story. Whether it's genuine or orchestrated, Teyana and Aaron have done something few can pull off. They've made us care, made us question, made us watch. In a media landscape built on attention, that alone is a win. So now the question lingers like perfume in the air. Are we witnessing a real love story blossoming from heartbreak? Or are we watching the greatest performance Hollywood has staged in years? Either way, the cameras are still rolling, and no one is looking away.